Howdy do, folks. Badger Lord on tonight. Alright. So, in my category for what you could be watching if I were not doing a series right now, or if I just decided to broadcast another day, we could be doing this game. We could be doing Banished, a game from the early 2010s, which is similar in nature to the one we're playing now, except it's, yeah. If you've ever seen it before, yeah, you gotta love my low-tech style. I have just started working on another village in that game, and this is something you could be enjoying if you wanted to. You could see my village going up, and you could participate in watching. Forgive me, I'm moving my windows around. You could participate in watching this village grow and thrive and farm more. And there's going to be another sector of forest here. If you've ever played Banished, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not, oh, are you in for a treat? If this were something I were broadcasting right now. However, due to the way the game market works, I do series, and instead of getting into the personal details of how a group of conflicting pagans and Christians are going, we could simply talk about a village that builds somewhat like SimCity, but has dynamic, what is the term I'm looking for? Dynamic demographics. Old and young inhabiting houses and consuming meals and goods. And eventually, trade. Once we reached a population of 300, you wonder why my screen is a little cramped. Well, it's because I'm playing it in a window because I can't look at the chat otherwise. Because I only have one screen. Because that is a thing we do. So, this is our first segment of You Could Be Watching This. But instead, you're going to be watching this, if you're going to watch at all. You are going to be watching Going Medieval, if I can bring it up here. Give me just a second here. Ooh. You could be watching me play Team Fortress 2. You could be watching me play 60 parsecs or 60 seconds. My gosh, you could even watch me play an old and dead game, Age of Empires Online, which is still live and kicking. But suffice to say, let us turn to the game of the night, Going Medieval. We are going to pick up with our 3-man colony so far, and back to the tensions of religious strife. Yes. Because our main man here, our lone camper... Oh, we'll get back to those in... Speaking of, you could also be watching me recreate tribalism, like war tribes, war bands. Or you could watch me recreate a monastery. But we will return to what we were doing before. We go back to the tiny, tiny settlement of Market Arzur, where we have our main character, Sigmund, as it says on the screen there, and he is currently 2-1 by a couple of very zealous oak brethren, and he is a restitutionist in our little fort here. Alright, we got a lot done last time. We gave everybody a shrine so that everybody can worship as he likes, and there's not going to be any getting annoyed or fighting or anything stupid like that. Next projects. Yes, and we also got a wall up. We've got shelves going up. Our base is shaping up to look quite nice, and to be able to hold a pretty decent amount of food. Although, still not quite enough, in my estimation. But see, this is why we researched architecture. Because now, we are going, well, of course, and also because you need architecture in order to research absolutely every freaking thing else. But, we can expand our storage space by mining out a few tiles underneath the walls. And it's totally secure. 100% totally, absolutely secure. No evil's gonna come because of this. None. Absolutely none. None. Okay. No, not while the pagans are pacified by praying to their tiki man here. Yeah. Because the naturalists, they just have to have a thing with a long nose in order to really feel their connection with God. And yes, I do say God, not their gods, not whatever nature, life force thing is they worship. I mean, come on, I'm aware of the lore of the elves in Dwarf Fortress. Vaguely aware, but aware. These guys are just freaking elves who hate... Well, actually, they have trimmed down many trees in order to make this. So it isn't actually Dwarf Fortress, much as I would like it to be. Which is... not really that much at all, now that I think about it. Anyway. Where was I? Sorry about that. No. Actually, as a matter of fact, I got this game specifically because I wanted a game like this. I want a medieval game where you can make things... Why do I have a stockpile with wood here? That's not useful. What? Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why. Because it's under... no, that's not helpful. It's under the canopy here, and... yeah... But I do see why I was confused, because there's a butcher's table here, and there is a campfire there, and yeah, it's kind of messy. Let's clean that up a little. Get some of the offending things out of here. I don't mind leaving an ash pile or 15 there, however, because it tends to be innocuous, and it'll go away eventually, right? Oh, wait, no, of course it won't. It won't disappear because... okay. But speaking of stockpiles, okay, we've got roasted meat for the dog, and the other animals can back off, because this is not your roasted meat. You do not get the dog's roasted meat. Are we clear? Of course not, which means we will probably be doing some hunting. Which is totally fine by me. Hunting is a wonderful thing. Now last time, towards the end of the night, I got bombed off by a couple of fellas. Or raided by LHR Live or Die and Taco Tucker 22. I decided to go look them up. They themselves are a very, very modest contingent of streamers who stream a variety of games, mostly like FPSs, it looked like. And they look like nice chaps, and they do they do stream some going medieval content. I might look at them going forward. I have no idea what to do with other streamers. I'm sure there's something I could do, a collaboration or something, but I just don't have anything I want to do at the moment. I don't mind streaming alone, I don't mind trying to come up with content. I would probably be better if I had people to talk with and, you know, to rattle commentary around with. Might even be worth watching, unlike whatever this is. Don't knock yourself, man. It's alright. It's sufficiently cromulent. Okay, why are we annoyed now? Come on. No entertainment, ugly clothes, and you need a drink. My sympathies, my friend. Well, you got these berries here. Why don't you do something with them? After all, we do have a perfectly good fermenting station over here. You could be fermenting something. It's gonna take a week, so you'd probably better get on with it. Actually, more than a week. Where are we? Spring, day 9. Alright. So things are going pretty swimmingly, you know, aside from the religious tension thing going on. We've got plenty of crops, we've got flax coming in, we got tons of flax seed, we've got new weapons now. Wait, oh no, I think that's just one that I started with. Lots of chronicles. To his credit, and fortunately for him, and for me, our intellectual is indeed Sigmund, so he's the one kind of with control over the information, with describing how things go. I mean, mind you, there's not much religiously involved with writing scrolls about how to plow the land, or, as the research tree will show you, tailoring clothes, or using sewing stations, or with things like building defensive structures that contain mechanical parts. Okay, this doesn't really have much to do with religion, honestly, so I'm not sure why we're bragging on this. I suppose we want him to be able to make the religious decorations, I guess. I'm just kind of leaning into it because I like role-playing with religion. I mean, kind of gives value to my life, so it's kind of interesting to me to introduce it to the lives of my little plebs. Which is why I would really, someday, I would really like to get RimWorld, so that I can do this sort of role-playing properly. And ideologies, but that's a lot of money to be throwing away. For the moment, this more than does the trick. Especially because you can build on multiple Z levels in going medieval. Now, the thing I'm pondering in my heart at the moment is, how do I want to expand? And this is an important question because our lads are gonna need beds. If we're gonna have a real rollickin' fortress here, we're gonna need beds, and just farming and laying on little patches of straw, I don't think this will do. Do you? I know I don't think so. And I know they don't think so. I hardly need to consult the happiness meter to show that they're not happy with it, 'cause, yeah, it's better than the ground, but it's not much more than that. Also, they're not sleeping in a proper bedroom either, so yeah, we definitely need to improve their standard of living just a wee bit. Now, while we're doing this, are we compromising the structure of the building? No, we're not. Excuse me. Which is excellent, which means we can cram yet more storage in there. And we'll do that sooner or later, but for the moment, okay. How do we want to plan this thing? Do we really want to just have the outer wall and a bunch of houses off to the side, kind of just sticking out like, because that's kind of ugly, if you ask me. I kind of don't like that. Well, let's consult what materials we've got. We have thousands of sticks, hundreds of wood. I think this is a valley, so there's not going to be many materials around here, so I'm probably going to be building with a hell of a lot of wood, so that being the case, let's designate some more trees to be chopped up. Just a few here and there. Scotch pine are really beautiful in this game. I don't know why, but I really like these guys. They're mighty pretty. Make very good wood once you chop them down. Pine is actually not a very good material to build heavy-duty things. I mean, I've heard... what is the term? Pine is a lightweight wood. It's not a hardwood like oak is. It's somewhat less sturdy, easier to break, something to that effect. I'm not entirely sure. This is not a building... I am not a carpenter by trade. I mean, I'm not even a caster by trade. If I were a caster by trade, there would be people out there to talk to. I would be talking with you fine folks, but that's just not happening. Not at the moment. Speaking of resources that I need, though, not only do I need wood, where the hell is the thatch? I need more hay. Where is the hay? There's a bit there. Oh, I'll get some mushrooms too, I guess. Not something I really needed, but that'll do, I guess. Get that. We're going to want better beds, so I think that's a good idea. Are we going to turn this into a great hall, I wonder? Something tells me probably not, for the following reasons. Oh. Not least of which is we no longer have a roof here. Yay! But, let me see, how wide is this gonna be if we fill all this in? 8 by 10, so 80 tiles, so... no, that's actually not how wide it's going to be because let me see. A great hall needs to be 50 squares inside. It needs to have a floor area of 50 squares or more, I think. I think 52, something like that. It's a pretty broad area, and I've had trouble filling it in the past, so it wouldn't surprise me if I couldn't quite turn that into a great hall. But, look, 8 times 9 is, okay, so 64 plus another 8 is 72. So, 72 would do. Yeah, so I could just take the walls down as well. I'm not sure I want to do that, but it's an idea. It's definitely an idea. And I think I'd have to sequester off... Oh! Oh shit, that's not good. Get that shrub out from the doorway, man. That's no good. That's no bueno. Shrubs in front of doorways is not a winning strategy in life. Piney. It's all piney. If you've never played Don't Starve, you totally should. It is not the prettiest of games, and you can't really make architectural wonders with it, but it is a thing. It is definitely a thing. I want to plant some Scotch pine. I say we plant it out here just to get rid of some saplings, and because I like Scotch pine, honestly. I've already told you how much I actually do kind of like it, at least in this game. So let's just completely empty our inventories of Scotch pine. I don't know if maybe I overdid it there. How many saplings do... I have only 2 saplings, and yet I've got all this out here. Holy crap. Let me cancel that quickly. Deconstruct. Dear. I have to individually... Give me a second here. Is that... Oh, yeah, it's the X key. Come on. Nope, I have to go and manually click and destroy all of these. Well, or, plan B, I could just switch it over to trees that I actually have. Let's change that to some oak trees. How about a field maple or two? I don't really like them. I don't really care. I just don't want to have all these bloody saplings clogging my inventory. Inventory. Okay, we can't have them sleeping under the stars, so I really do have to think for a bit about how I'm going to house them. That is kind of important at the moment. Do I just put them temporarily up here on stilts? I'm not sure. I don't think so. That does not sound like my plan. God has a plan, and it is not for you to sleep under the stars that way, my son. You have much greater dignity than that. Though you are but pixels. I do so look forward to Monday. I look forward to Sunday as well, but I look forward to not doing so much. It's been a busy week here in my city and with my delivery work. In case you're wondering why, well, the answer is simple. Baseball. Baseball. Yes, that is what I've been busy with. Okay, maybe I'd better explain a little. So, not baseball per se. I don't actually play baseball, and even if I did, I probably would not be very good at it. I'm just not a very sports-oriented person, to be honest with you. But I work for a company that has, how do I put this? They do a lot of business around the time that other people are playing baseball, and they're really keen on it. They like baseball a lot. Okay, let me tell you a little story, actually, about what we've done in the past week. Particularly yesterday, which is a part of the past week. So yesterday, little filler first. Our shop is called Pickleman's, and if you've never heard of it before, it is a Midwestern delicatessen. It's a shop that makes toasted sandwiches, not sandwiches like Jimmy John's or Gandolfo's, if you've heard of that. Not just sandwiches where they just put some stuff on the bread. Nah. We do it fancy. We have an oven, and we cook our sandwiches in the oven. We toast the bread, we toast the cheese, we toast the meat if you'd like. Even vegetables you can have toasted as well, which would be great. Absolutely great. More to the point, however. Okay, and temperature is going to cause these berries to rot if we don't do something with them, so we'd better do something with them. Okay, back to my story, though, just briefly. Well, actually, no. I want to make sure these guys are cooking. Is one of you able to cook decently? Yes? Please produce some alcohol, then. We need alcohol. We're going to need quite a lot of it. Cooking. What is... Okay, we've got you doing that. What do we have in front... Yeah. Yeah. Please focus on cooking alcohol so that we don't waste those berries. Alright. So Pickleman's is our shop. One of the taglines. One big love, one giant pickle. That just tells you kind of the mindset of the man who made it. And I don't know who he is, so I leave you to infer your own jokes and crass guesses, because I'm not going to here. Anyway about it, I actually really do like the place where I work. I work with very enjoyable co-workers, and my customers are always pretty positive about the stuff that we present to them. Honestly. At least from what I can tell, they certainly seem to be honest about their high appraisal of what we do. And the reason they have such a high opinion is because our product's good. So not only do we have the sandwiches, but we also have pizzas. And they're pretty good pizzas. They're like... I'm not sure what they'd be equivalent to, but they're like 12-inch pizzas, which is pretty good. Pretty decently sized. I mean, one pizza's enough to feed a 300-pound man such as myself. And that's great. That's fantastic. But the flavors are actually quite good. So our sandwiches, probably our best is our Italian beef. Roast beef, you can have it with cheese or with pickled peppers. I mean, it's fantastic. It's good stuff. The pizzas, we have a chicken Asiago, which uses an Asiago Caesar dressing, bacon bits, and chicken. Oh, yeah, that is a mighty hearty pizza there. Very, very much a meat lover's pizza, that thing. And we have a different take on the Supreme Pizza, which is, we call it the hog pizza. It contains 3 different types of meat: pepperoni, sausage, chicken, as well as onions, no bell peppers, unfortunately, or mushrooms. I wish we had mushrooms. But our giardiniera peppers, as well as, I believe, onions. It's really good and absolutely filling. It's a good $16, which, make your own estimations as to whether that's expensive or cheap. I'll leave that to you to decide. What I will not leave to you to decide is whether our shop, Pickleman's it's called, and again, there's tons of them located across the Midwest. And I think Texas, but I'm not sure. Not everywhere across Texas, because I know a couple. Anyway. So because baseball is going on, the College World Series is going on about where I am, we have been having orders for baseball teams, and this past Thursday night, we had a pretty unique baseball team show up to our shop from Arizona. A kids' baseball team, I think. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Kids can play baseball, and, you know, they can be proud of their sports names, but I'll tell you, we got really, really enthusiastic because you'll probably guess by now that the name of their team was the Arizona Pickles. Yes, the Arizona Pickles. I don't even. Why? Why is there a team named the Arizona Pickles, and what are they doing here? That's amazing to me. How do we have coincidences like that? I don't even. Anyway about it though, no, it's truly fascinating to me, I've got to say. That such a such a team actually exists. I am flabbergasted by this. Absolutely amazed. And so yesterday was horrendously busy because that was when everybody was coming in to watch the College World Series games. I don't keep up with baseball, so do correct me if I'm saying something that isn't actually true, and if you know anything about baseball. Yeah, if you like baseball, please feel free to chime in. I don't actually know anything about baseball. I mean, well, I know basically how it plays. I played backyard baseball when I was a kid in school. But I tell you, the College World Series, very big deal around here. Very much a big business day for us. And we actually had one of my poor co-workers, God love her. She is a very enterprising young woman. She's probably 10 years my junior, and she's already a manager, and she knows what she's doing extremely well. She she was called upon to don a Pickle Man suit. Literally a suit in the shape of a pickle with legs and shoes. And my gosh, she danced her heart out for those kids coming in. Oh my gosh, I don't know how or why she did that, but God love her. I don't know. I don't know that I would have had the energy to so do, to do such a thing. But oh my gosh, I applaud her on that. That took a lot of courage to do. A lot of courage and a lot of something. I'm not sure what, but I'm not sure what exactly. But I admire that she did that, because that we have never done anything like that before. It just seemed like the right thing, apparently, to do, to get our Pickle Man mascot, our Pickle on Legs mascot out, and to dance for these kids who made up the team of the Arizona Pickles. That is just a unique story that you do not, that the Delhi Picklemans has a pickle mascot that we bring out for the Arizona Pickles. That just does not happen. That's just such a thing, man. I don't even. I just don't even. I do not know what words to use to describe that. I'm not speechless. I just don't know what words to use to describe that. That is a unique thing that not many people have seen in their time. When your work and a random Little League team collide in, like, very, very fascinating to me. Alright. Real life aside, however, and real life being very, very interesting in its own right, if you ask me, alright, things to consider here. So we have expanded this room down here. I am not sure what we want to do with it, however. And I'm not sure exactly what we want to do with the room above, either. I'm going to take just a brief moment to get an idea of how much square footage we're dealing with here. If we were to, say, expand the entire square footage of the floor to be a stockpile, let's say. How many spaces? Free spaces, 46. Wait, no. Total spaces, 53. And let's look at the rooms here to get an idea. Would that be enough for a Great Hall? Great Hall needs a minimum grid space area of 50. Okay. Okay, good. So we could build the bedrooms above. Good. I say we do that then. And we'd better get on with it, because resources are... We only have 3 guys, and we need to do this while the rain is not coming down. This place is going pretty well. Things are going pretty well here. Our books have not taken it too badly. Lots of building going up. Yeah, no. Everyone's just happy. Everyone's content. It's pretty quiet at the moment, thankfully. It's just a matter of expanding our resources, keeping our resources from rotting away. Are we producing? Okay. You know what? I might go ahead and make that forever. Yeah. Just because I don't want to waste anything. Also, what kind of meals are we producing? We're producing that. Why aren't we producing that? So is that... Okay, that's just the raw meat meals, which are for the dog. of which there's nothing to be had at the moment. No, let's go ahead and force the production of meals. And Dior is getting right on it. Well, actually, he's getting on producing more booze, which is fine, frankly. I think having 50 booze is gonna be fine. It's gonna be good. It's not technically 50 booze, actually, though, because dubious booze is actually a different thing. Well, we're at it. Fermentation is a new mechanic I should probably read up on. Some resources, like curdling milk, can ferment if the temperature is right. Resources that ferment will turn into new resources after the fermentation process is finished. I'm sure that was something you couldn't possibly have guessed. Okay, Davy Crockett. Davy Crocker? Very tempting to call him that. Sort of like Betty Crocker. Right, though. So this room here, though... What did I want to do with that? I believe I wanted to turn this room into the new library. Since I've got bookshelves researched as a decoration feature... I figured, yeah, let's just lace a wall line with them. Frankly, you know what I should have done here? Yeah, I know what I should have done. I should not have built a completely separate wall. I should have put arches in. I suppose I still could, but, we'll just go with it. Did I lose my research table when I... Or did it collapse, or into an item, or... let's see here. If it's around... did I deconstruct it? Not purposefully, if so. In which case, well, I guess there's nothing for it but to build a new one. We need to research, because we need to get many things. The one I'm blanking on, what is it that I'm looking for here? Well, cooking is going to be important, but also clothes making, tailoring, also very important. Decorative structures would be nice to make some workshops. Making better traps might not be bad, but we'll need smelting first. And then smithing. So yes, we've got many things we should be researching, but we're not going to do any of them unless... We're not going to research anything unless we've got a research table. Is this a room yet? No, it's still technically outside because we need to construct. We need to construct a hell of a lot. Okay. And prioritize constructing that beam. Andrew, we need you to please hold off on the praying for a second. I can't hide roof elements because that is actually a floor. Therefore, how I'm supposed to select this beam here? Boy. And force him to construct it. I might have floored myself into a pickle here. And something just decayed into rotten meat. Wait. Let's have a look here. Because I'm just a little bit unhappy that happened. Oak sapling. Come on, come on. Where is that rotten meat at? Leather, rotten meat. Ah, shite. That is disgusting. Speaking of other things rotting, how are the... They're going to decay in 12 days. Okay, alright. I can accept that. What I cannot accept is losing more food. What I do not wish to accept is losing yet more food. Now, to the end of improving to the end of just generally trying to improve things a bit, I'm going to put a waste stockpile out here. Carcasses, not of animal, yes of human, not of our corpses, but of enemy corpses, as well as waste. Not including bones, because we can use those, but including all the other varieties of waste. Yes. It's going pretty well tonight, though. It's going quickly. Our guys are working quickly. My mind is as lubricated as a fresh bicycle. Why a fresh bicycle? Well, because I am a cyclist. That is how I do my work. It's a pity that bicycles were not invented in the Middle Ages. At least not the kind we typically think of. Because I actually quite like bicycles. Also, ooh. Oh yeah, the reason is of course because these guys... I don't know what a pagan prayer schedule would look like, so that's why I have Sigmund do morning, afternoon, and, well, noon and evening prayers, but, or just recreation, and I let those guys, and I let the other two do whatever they like, because I don't know, if any, what schedule a pagan has for his prayers. But there is a Christian tradition for prayer. And the Christian tradition is in modern Catholicism called the Liturgy of the Hours. It's also called the Divine Office, and there are other names for it too. I believe the Orologion is a Greek name for it. As in, Greek is in Greek Orthodox, but I'm not sure. Because I myself am not an Orthodox. I'm a Catholic. Not that I have a problem with the Orthodox. On the contrary, I've learned a lot from Orthodox Christians. They have a lot to teach me about what it really means to be a Christian, because they share in some degree with my tradition as a Catholic. For the moment, though, I am content to say only that much about it. But to the subject of liturgical prayer and why it deals with time, well, because nature itself deals in time, and we think God made nature and he made it good, as we discussed last time. We discussed that alcohol is a natural thing that sheep sometimes run into when they run into rotten apples, and they sometimes get drunk on fermented apples. And so therefore, there is a natural and practical use in alcohol, and it's not merely disinfectant. As a matter of fact, in order to get proofs of alcohol that are disinfectant, you need to distill that alcohol. Distillation was not invented until the High Middle Ages. Again, probably by Catholics as well, who didn't have any qualms about drinking really, really high-proof stuff. Awesome. Decorative structures for the sake of making workshops. It's not the highest priority at the moment, but it is a priority eventually. And one thing that Catholics and pagans can both agree on is that alcohol is a good thing, and then the natural world is a good thing. We think they are good things. The natural world and alcohol, among other things, are good for different reasons. And we have different priorities behind those reasons. To go to the more ethereal and therefore vague of the two, considering the natural world to be a good thing, there is a prioritization among paganism, at least so I gather, that the world is good because the gods have made it, and because they get to enjoy it. And the gods, regardless of what you think of them, are kind of the reason that the world exists. Or, at very least, there are powers within the world that are charged with taking care of it, or with doing with it whatever they please. And if they get to enjoy it, well, in some degree, it is good that man also gets to enjoy the world, which the gods are in charge of. Because why wouldn't you enjoy what you can? Within Catholicism, from what I understand, the natural world is good. Not so much just because God made it, although that's certainly true in its own right. God made the world, and he made it very good, as it says in Genesis, but also we enjoy it not just because he made it good and he said it's good, and therefore it is good. Although these things are true, there is more to the story. We enjoy the world and consider it good, not only because it produces pleasure, but because it enables us to become more human, to behave as if we have emotions, but also intellects and wills. The world lets us create new things, it lets us experience new experiences. And it lets us understand truths that we might not have otherwise come to. Actually, that we couldn't have come to without divine grace, because the natural world tells us about God. Because the natural world was made by God, and therefore, even though indirectly, it does tell us something about him. And this is why the natural world is good to us. Not only because we get to enjoy it, and not only because God himself enjoys it, but because it tells us something about God, who is the primary thing which we ought to enjoy, I think is kind of the general idea. I am not sure if pagans share this idea, especially modern ones. I don't know very much about modern paganism, but if I understand historically the way things were, and there's a good chance I don't, historically paganism was not really concerned with knowing the gods or loving them, except, except insofar as they watched over their subjects, and you owe piety to that which protects you, even if it is sometimes arbitrary, or sometimes seems so. In this respect, I can see a commonality with pagans, for I myself have respect for God, even though I don't always like the way that I think I feel treated by him sometimes. And this is not unusual. This is not unbelievable. Saint Teresa of Avila once commented to God after being treated poorly. She said to him, "God, if you treat your friends this way, it's a small wonder you have so few of them." Scripture says God chastises those he loves. This is not a particularly common or desirable type of friendship. Nobody likes to be told what to do, or that they're doing things wrongly. Sometimes it is genuinely charitable to do that, though. Sometimes it is good to tell other people where they are being wrong. But for the moment, our colonists are not really in a position to do that. They're just trying to get a roof over their heads. And maybe by having better beds, to have better relationships between each other. Deor, though, while he's constructing, can't help but admire the neat piles of wood that they've put together, and sticks, and just how nice they look underneath of the stockade. It is a nice-looking stockade. Kind of tragic that they have to mess it up by building a room on top of it, but it's okay. They know what they're doing. They know how to make this beautiful. Just in time, too. The merchants are going to be very impressed, I hope, with what they are seeing. Or what they will see, I should say. I want to see, just briefly here, what the bonus is for Sigmund here for researching in a library. He is producing at 132%. Nice! Because he's indoors, and in particular, in a library. Excellent. Good. This is what I like to hear. And so those walls are beginning to finish up, but we can't leave them like that, because, well, you can't just sleep in a place like that, if you take my meaning. How are we doing for resources? We're getting low on... Well, we're getting lower on things, so maybe I'd better begin harvesting resources again. How do I want to do this, though? Do I want to do anything unique with it? I kind of feel like I want to, yeah. I want to do something interesting with it. I don't want to just make one big roof, because it kind of looks ridiculous. And as I reported this week, it's kind of silly that this, if you look at the prices, okay, so an 11 by 6 wicker roof is 48 sticks. But if you rotate it to be a 6 by 11 roof, it's 88 sticks. That's over double the sticks, and yet it's so much lower. That's stupid, don't you think? I think that's pretty stupid. I told them as much. I sent a bug report saying as much, that this should not cost over double what it would cost to do the opposite of that. Surely I'm not the only one who thinks that that's kind of silly. To put it very, very mildly. well, at any point, or at any rate, that is how we're going to put the roof on, and that actually looks alright. The one with the speechcraft is, again, our Catholic, who also does the research, our good Sigmund here. So we're going to have him talk with the trade caravan. I'm not sure we really have anything too appealing at the moment, but, you know, and I'm not sure what they have. We will learn. And hopefully get something nice for our dudes here. Okay, we could get some armor racks. That'd be kind of cool. Barley is really cheap from these guys, so I should definitely consider that. What do we have to sell? Okay, nice, nice. That would be good. I say we sell that flimsy buckler. It's not doing any good, honestly. A flawless chaperon. That'd be kind of nice to have for Sigmund to wear on his head. I'm not sure if we decided whether he's a brother of an order or anything like that, but I think it would be abandoning that if he did decide to wear the chaperon, because the chaperon is a nice looking secular, like in the world type of headgear rather than a hood, which is something a monk might wear. Okay, we're going to get rid of that raw meat simply because otherwise it's going to rot and do us feckle in terms of good. I say we sell some, maybe not that many red currants, but and maybe some red currant pie would be a little more useful, actually. Actually, yeah. Let's keep those red currants and instead sell all our pies. Yeah. Alright. It's not going to permit us to buy very much, but it will permit us to buy some things that we wouldn't otherwise get. Tallow, we're not really doing anything with that. I mean, I'm sure it'll come in useful later, but it's not essential. And they're not interested in rotten meat, bones, or ash. Fair enough. I don't expect you to be interested in that. I should be kind of concerned if you did want rotten crap. Why would you want that? Who wants that? Stuffed eggs would be kind of cool, though. But they won't last very long. I say we go with something else. A sackcloth hood is not what I thought it was. It's basically the medieval equivalent of wearing a paper bag over your head, so I think I shall pass. What I shall not pass on is... well, I'm trying to figure that out, actually. Flawless mail armor is that expensive, huh? I think I'm good. I don't think I need anything quite that nice. I've got plenty of leather, so I'll be able to make leather armor. It's not going to be very good, but it'll do. Ice blocks. I don't have the technology to take advantage of that yet. I could buy some iron ingots, though. Or I could just try and build favor with the Heresy of the Rose, but I'm not sure I want to do that. The Heresy of the Rose is... well, as the term heresy might indicate, not exactly in our favor. Though Dion and Andrew have gotten to talking together, and they're like, you know, maybe we should convince Sigmund that even though these guys are heretics, they've got some good stuff. Maybe we could get more pagans in here then, if we can show good favor with these guys. They talk behind Sigmund's back. He thinks nothing of it, so they tell him, you know, try and trade well with them. If you boost their favor, we can get some very good stuff. Do you not see that they've actually got some pretty nice stuff here? To which Sigmund scratches his beard and says, I do see that. Is there anything in particular you guys think we should get? We should get a bow of some kind. Definitely. For hunting. Says Andrew, who has been wanting to do hunting for a while. Well, they only have the one, I'm afraid. How do you do with a curved bow? That's awfully expensive, says Sigmund. Are you sure that you want that thing? Is it really worth it? Yes, no. What would be a good accent for a... Yes, indeed. I think a carved bow would be a great thing to have, says Dion. I guess. Yeah, get the curved bow. So whatever we need more ranged weapons. How can we take advantage of these walls of ours? You know, he does have a good point, says Andrew. Walls are meant to be shot from, not idled around, not just battering people with your fists with, eh? How's that make any sense, eh? All right. We'll get another bow in. Very well, you've convinced me. Another bow it is. Very good use of our resources. I quite agree with you now that I think of it. But of course the question is, what can we trade in order to get that? And that is always going to be the difficulty. What do we give up in order to get apparent goods? Not as in goods that apparently exist, but as in goods that... as in trade goods that seem to be to our advantage to get. If that makes sense. Trade a few books. That should get us some money. I worked hard writing those. Books are not easy to come by. They're not easy for me to write. It's alright. We'll trade them, but not only them. I mean, this bow is important. Alright, fine. Fine, we'll trade some of that. How about some cloth? We are going to need leather in order to produce armor after all. Yes, but we can give up some leather. We don't need all of it. Yes, that is true, I suppose. Shall we give away some of our linen cloth as well? Perhaps we can get something else useful with it. Like that pavise, perhaps? Oh, I don't know about that. They don't have any more ranged weapons, so let's stick with something inexpensive to get instead. How about some more barley, so that we can make bread? Well, I can't think of a better use of our skills. At the moment, we might as well get more barley. We'll need more bread anyway. It cooks very easily. Do that, and also get some more seeds for us. Just to be sure I'm doing it right. Yep. Ask for as many seeds as they're willing to give you. We can use them all. You know, he might be onto something there. There is no honor among thieves, is there? You would just as soon rob the shirt off of your father's back, I'm sure. I know your game. You're gaming him as much as you're gaming me. In order to try and obtain dominance. That's how human nature is. We all try to dominate each other. But even if I were to agree with you, and you know, in a way I do, that we should try to make ourselves stronger in the land, nevertheless, it occurs to me that we do not need so many seeds. You'll notice that we still have many, many red currants that can be made into more pies, and we have plenty of vegetables in the field that will soon be harvested. And we don't have as much space or as much need for food as all of the seeds we might be buying. What we should do is sell fewer chronicles if we can go with it. Even if it means we don't end up with as many seeds as we otherwise would. It is worth preserving our chronicles if we can. What about beets? We do want those, don't we? Yes, yes we do. Let go some of the barley, that will do. I find this quite amenable. Yes, I suppose I do too. Now then, who ought to equip this bow here? A curved bow requires quite a lot of skill to use. Dior, you'd probably better take it up. I quite agree. I am truly a proficient archer, and so therefore I quite agree with you. Very good. I will take your short bow. And what shall I fight with then? Use my spear. That shall do you fine. Alright. Suppose it can't hurt. Besides, Dior and I have known each other for many days over the past season. We shall be fine hunting buddies. We've been doing this for a while. You're still a little new at this. You may share your religion in common. You may share your love of the gods in common, but we both know the lay of the land and how to chase the animals. Don't have to convince me twice. I let you two on. If I want to kill you in your sleep, I'll find other ways. Don't you worry. Who said anything about killing? And with that fine interaction already underway and taken care of, alright. We have plenty more barley to work with, which we can make into bread. I probably will need to assign barley as a meal ingredient, but we can wait for the moment. There is one thing I want to do with this stuff first, which is to plant with it. By the way, do we have anybody who can plant beets yet? No, not yet. so we'll still have to wait for that. But in the meantime, we can plant some barley. Ah, yes, this stuff reminds me of Stevenage. Stevenage? Why does it remind you of a little settlement that is insignificant and doesn't mean anything? That's just crazy talk there, Sigmund. Well, perhaps because it has the term edge in it, like leverage, or... oh, just shut up, you've had a long day. Oh, all right. Heh. It will soon be summertime. Yes, summertime. Anyway. Juice is fermenting quickly. Well, okay, not quickly, but quick enough. We will have more to drink by the end of the summer. By the end of summer, we will have more to drink. Tell me this, Sigmund. Yes? We both agree alcohol is a good thing, yes? Yes? Yes, God put it into nature, and it gladdens men's hearts, as the Holy Scripture says. Yes, as you keep going on and on about. Now, why don't you drink any of it, then, Sigmund? Well, I simply have no need for it. It is a fine thing for celebration, but I simply have other things that I attend to. I like the outdoors, I find great joy in the world that God has created, and I find peace in other things. It is not that I dislike alcohol by any means, no, but I find my joy in other things. So if I gave you a bottle of whiskey, would you drink it? Oh, probably. If I didn't... Uh-oh. And we have an unhappy settler. That's not good. Andrew is really not having a good time of it. Will you two shut the hell up? I'm really kind of not happy at the moment. I need a fucking drink. Don't know why he's an Aussie, but dear, he's grouchy at the moment, and I don't blame him. When are we going to get a fucking bedroom? What do you mean? We've got a bedroom already. No, we don't. No, we fucking don't. If we had a bedroom, why are we sleeping it? Why are we sleeping underneath all this wicker? It hardly constitutes a bedroom, if you ask me. Oh wait, no, that's not his voice. That hardly constitutes a bedroom, if you ask me. Sleeping under sticks. Feel like I'm sleeping under a bloody tree. Look, Andrew. Okay, because of course DR is very invested in keeping his pagan friend here, so that he's got some leverage, so he can, just be a pagan. It's a young camp it is. You gotta have a little bit of patience with it. You can't let your feelings get above you. We almost have a roof over our heads. We'll soon have beds to sleep on as well. Which, as a matter of fact, they will. But he's continuing to be unhappy. He's disillusioned at the moment. He is disillusioned, but maybe he can be convinced to... Okay, actually no. There is one thing I might be able to do to get him back on track. What is a job he likes doing? Harvest... He likes working with plants. He likes working with plants. Let's have Andrew work with a plant then. You know, if I could only just have a tree to gaze at, you know how much I love them, man. It's how for war, my pagan, you know. You know what, Andrew? You need to go talk to a plant for a bit. I'm not even joking about that. Go cut some shrubs for a bit, eh? You look like you need to get in contact with your inner All-Father. Or, well, again, I don't know pagan concepts, so what do I know about what pagans want or what they think about their gods? But Dior, talking in language that he knows Andrew will understand about the gods, convinces him to go cut some ivy shrubs. Yeah, go take out your problems on some of the wildlife out there. Lord knows we need some of these shrubs trimmed. If it will make you feel better, I highly recommend you do it, Andrew. Right. Meanwhile, I will till the garden. Actually, can you get beds up? We're going to need something to sleep on tonight. And I'm not sleeping on them damn hay spots anymore. Don't use such words as damnation lightly. Lest it happen to you, but very well. We shall deconstruct them. Frankly, I'm tired of it myself. I like having a bed frame underneath of me so that I can stoop over my bed when I get up in the morning. That's a spirit? That's a spirit, man. You know, go construct it, eh? Yes, I think it is long overdue that we have decent beds, especially considering we've known how to make them for quite a while. Dior, there's lots of game to be had out there. If you want to improve your mood, perhaps you could do some hunting. What do you think? Yes. Yes, I think a good hunt is due. Alright. I think I've made contact with me inner human. With me inner animal, I think I'm feeling a little better. But man, I hope I get a bed tonight. Though an actual fucking bed. Take that, you stupid bush. Alright, so I think we have de-escalated the situation some. Dior, can we go out and hunt together? Ah, fine, you old coot. We'll go hunting. Nice. Dior, I meant no ill will to Andrew. You can see that I've let you do your thing religiously. That I've let you talk to your gods. Because you feel the need, and because you'd go insane without it. I understand that. It's not about that anymore, or Sigmund. I understand that. I understand your feelings about that. And I understand truth is very important to you. It darn well is. Recognizing the reality of things is the only way we're going to be able to survive out here. This is true, but we also need to be able to do that which keeps us going. And for me and Andrew, it is being in communication with the spirits. They give us reason to live. Fair enough. You know, there's nothing quite so cathartic, I guess is the word, as finally having a roof over your head. I think we've done enough. Not everyone is happy today. I think people are a little less unhappy. Because we've been trying to work together. I think we've done well. And I think we will sleep easily tonight. In the comfort of both of our gods. I think so too. Yeah, me too. Or is it me three? So the gentlemen, after having gone through what has been a tense day, have a new bedroom. They're still not entirely certain about their religious feelings towards one another, but they are certain that they do want to try and survive this world together. It's not been easy surviving for any of them so far, and none of them wants to try and go it alone. Especially given the types of things that everyone has yet had to confront in order to survive this far. Wolves and, if I recall correctly, fighting some things, but I don't recall offhand. Therefore each is willing to bear with each other's weaknesses, one with a weakness for truth, if you call it a weakness. I do not, but perhaps a weakness for truth to, what is the word I'm trying to say here? It is possible to defer to the truth even to the point where you compromise other people's well-being for it. Or maybe something like, you can be too harsh about the truth. You subject people to truths that they are not capable of bearing just yet. Some people have a weakness for truth in that sense. In my opinion, some communists can be like that. I have no idea whether Andrew or Dior are communists. I don't think they are. I think these guys are just trying to cooperate together to survive. And frankly, fortunately, it looks like they have indeed survived. Slept in a shared quarters on an okay bed. Deprived of religious activities, though. Not happy. There's something comforting about falling asleep surrounded by friends. I feel safe and cozy. There's something comforting about falling asleep surrounded by friends. I feel safe and cozy. There's something comforting about falling asleep surrounded by friends. I feel safe and cozy. Anyway. So good. I'm glad that they're doing a little better today. Every man is off to his prayers. Andrew to connect with his deities. Sigmund with his god. And Summer appears. This has been a good playthrough so far, I must say. Though while we're on the subject, let's have a look at the building that we've done. I completely forgot about this. Good thing I didn't forget for very long. Because now is the time to actually make use of this expanded area. You know, amidst all of this hubbub, I completely forgot that we were trying to expand the pantry underneath us. Oh, yes, you're right. We were, weren't we? Let's go ahead and build that thing up. Let's build the shelves up, shall we? Yes, absolutely. Let's get building those shelves. Lord knows we've got to keep all kinds of things to be eaten. Speaking of which, what's gonna rot soon? Frankly, it might be better to just turn all of that into... Wait a minute. Wait. There's raw meat here. Okay, that must be fresh. That must be from the kills that we've just had. Of course it is. How silly of me. Well, now that we're not sleeping on each other's toes, I think it is time that we build a great hall in which to feast. After we have expanded that pantry, we are going to want to eat more and better, don't you think? Yes, I quite agree. We should want to make this place look absolutely luxurious to newcomers. Should we get any? Oh, you definitely get some. You kept me from feeling hopeless, so I definitely believe we will have people. You kept me. I have faith in you folks. I don't know why it says structure can't be placed there, but it very patently can. Yes, let us build a fine house. A fine hall for us to feast in. Feast in? Blech. A fine hall for us to feast in, so that we can celebrate our survival, what we have accomplished in spite of each other. Let us be honest. But also in spite of the wilderness, and in spite of the people we have had the misfortune of coming across. I'll drink to that. Aye, aye, aye. Well, whether they drunk or not, who knows? Who cares? Not I. I will be fine. But these guys are going to build their great hall, which will let them eat at a table. I don't think they get a mood debuff for it, unlike RimWorld, but nevertheless, having a great hall is a great thing to have, because, well, great halls are nice rooms for communal eating, if nothing else. They look kind of nice, or you can make them look kind of nice if you try. One thing, though, I need to make sure that I'm making good use of what I've got. So decorative shield racks, decorative weapon racks, 4 torches, okay. And I constantly have the problem either of not having enough decorative items and or of not having enough space. So I may end up needing to expand this despite my best efforts. I can't wait to put new weapons there. Things that'll look beautiful. Oh, leave that to me. You're gonna see some doozies of weapons up there. I can carve some true beauties to go on the wall. Maybe to be grappled off of the wall should the need arise. What you think? Oh, yes, I'd love to see a good bardish or at least a nice spear. Been a while. I mean, our spear's it. His spear's alright, but yes, it's not much to look at, I suppose, but it'll do. One thing we're gonna need, though, we're gonna need more wood. We ain't got enough of it. But, alright, I guess we'll better get chopping then, eh? I think so. Think so? So do I. I shall break my gardening very briefly in order to help you. In order to decorate their new Great Hall, they went out into the woods to go chomp. There were not many woods to speak of, so a little patch of trees became their target for the next day. At least until Sigmund forgot and decided to go garden, because that was more on his mind, because, at heart, he is a gardener, not a chopper of trees. You know, those berries are starting to turn. I think we should do something to improve the amount of meals that we have, and to make better use of them. Don't you think? You know, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I actually agree with you. Alright, I'll do some cooking. No, don't you go cooking now. You can try making wine. Doesn't have to be good stuff, it just has to be able to get us drunk. Suppose I can't think of anything better to do, especially with all these rig currents. You may as well make drink out of them. Enjoy yourself a bit. Don't let an old fuddy-duddy like me tell you how to enjoy your life. Alcohol is good. Wine gladdens a man's heart. Anyway. And now I'm also thinking of what to do with this up here. Who's getting annoyed? Well, Andrew's still not very happy with his life. Oh, he's hungry, too. Sigmund, how long before we do some tailoring? We need better clothes. These things are ragged. We need to improve it. Don't you think? Or do you just like walking around in tatters like an holy man? No, I quite agree. We need to do something about these clothes. We certainly have enough cloth to do something about it. But none was quite sure what, for nobody really had any idea how to make clothes at this point. Alright, I'll tell you what. We shall make an annex off to the side, and I shall get researching on how we might do the very thing for which you are asking. Making decent clothing. By the way, can we start using barley now that we've actually got enough to replenish it? I could really go for a crust. Absolutely, we should definitely invest in. Absolutely, we should definitely invest in bread. Now that we actually have enough to so have it. So far, so good. This has been a very good night. I think the role-playing aspect has been pretty good. I don't exactly know that I've been enjoying it, but I definitely can't say that I hate it. I mean, is this role-playing? It might not even be role-playing, but it might just be me talking in funny voices, but I don't know, I like to think that the play acting... So although our guys have not sorted out their religious differences quite yet, it seems they are coping with their situation, and that they actually do care about each other, and that they're not merely trying to appease each other. Maybe there is hope yet. Ah, icky poo, maybe, but not while there's rotten currents about. I don't know whose voice that actually is. I don't think it is anybody's now that I think of it. Say, Sigmund, if you were a Christian, why don't you say your office every day? You keep going on about how important it is, and yet you don't do it. Well, I never said I was a good Christian. Just that I am one. And sometimes I just need to get my mind off of things. Off of your devotions, you mean? Well, it's not easy. Just as it is not easy for you. Why do you get drunk after all? Bagaman is drink for the mind. At least that, I think that is how I view it. Instead of letting loose my volition and will, I let my intellect loose in strategizing. There really need to be some other forms of entertainment than Bagaman. I don't even know what that is. I've never played Bagaman before, and I'm not sure that I want to or care to be perfectly honest. And we have officially run out of wood again, despite our best efforts to keep stocked. He's alright, I'll go ahead and chop some more. Indeed he will, because that will keep him sane. I say he get on with it, however, because that tree's about to go dead. And if it goes dead, it's not gonna be as useful to us. There we go. Hey, you. More. Who's getting annoyed? Nobody, thankfully. We do have Andrew going out and chopping, and he's maintaining his mental health some. I do like the smell of fresh cut wood in the morning, or even the afternoon. could do with something to eat if I can find the time. Does he get a buff for eating in here? Not yet, but he does get a buff for eating at the table. Eating at a table feels so civilized. It's positively grand compared to some of the places I've had to eat. It's quite heartening. Yes, no, ooh, sweaty. Yeah, I think I'd better get a tailor's bench up sooner rather than later. I definitely think that will be our next priority. I might let that sapling grow before I do anything about it. Okay, perfect. That's actually still not very useful now that I think about it, but yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter so long as I get the roof the way I want it. That'll do fine. Okay, no. I need to redesign this. This is not as I want it to be. How do I want this roof to be? Well, that way and then a contradictory way. Yeah, like, that'll do fine, I guess. That way and then that away. Well, okay. I'm not really sure that's how I wanted it. Really, kind of an L bracket would be nice, but that never has really been in the cards in this game. But it's in early access, so there's time. Speaking of time, though, let's get those roof pieces aligned properly. Yes, that it doesn't look too wonky. But the big cabin looks alright. We really have gotten a lot accomplished here. These guys have been working their little hearts out getting all of this wood and wicker processed. They have much to be proud of, if computer game characters could be proud. Let's see. The real things that are getting in the way of having a good mood are really just the fact that everybody is wearing rags. If we were to treat that, we would probably see some joy here. So it definitely has to be taken into account. Can we get at this deer here? That would be nice. Sigmund, would you like to try a go at hunting? Try and hunt a hare. So, Sigmund, do you want to get any better at shooting? You know, it would be nice to be able to defend myself. Here's what I think. Let's have you hunt some hares. What do you think, man? Personally, I think it's a good idea, so I'm going to have them go and hunt. Yes, I think I shall give it a shot. Show me how to do it. Deal, show me how to do it. You know this so much better than I do. Yes, I do. I will be more than happy to show you the best way to go about hunting. Oh no, for my part, I think it's more important to focus on dealing with these berries. Even if it does make me desperately tired. Let's try this new bed we made. Very comfy. I hope I'm not putting you all to sleep, or if I am, I hope it's in a pleasant way, and not just because I'm kinda boring. Anyway, yeah. I think it's pretty sufficient. These guys are doing well. They've sorted out, well, they haven't sorted out their differences, but they're feeling a little more compassionate about their differences, which could make sorting out their differences later on a little easier. I had one of those dreams where your teeth fall out, and you spend ages looking for them. Then you realize you are at the market, stark naked. Ooh. A decent meal, my hunger is assuaged. I had one of those dreams where your teeth fall out, and you spend ages looking for them. Then you realise you're at the market, stark naked. Dior is the only one who did not dream this past night. Probably for the better, as some kind of a very unhappy Paul seems to have come across our two other colonists. I wonder if we are going to get one by the end of the night, because it's already been 2 hours and we haven't gotten a new colonist. Is that just because I've been planning my new living quarters? I wonder. Part of me thinks that might be the case. But before we do, I'm just gonna play through this next day. And if we don't get a colonist, well, we don't get another colonist. And if we do, we'll welcome them in on that next note. Maybe build another bed, maybe some other things, I'm not sure. Oh, raw meat. Well, that's good and all. Are we gonna go ahead and cook it? We should definitely cook it. Because the line between hunting and hungry is razor thin. It's the difference of a few letters. Are those cabbages finally going to seed yet? No, not quite. But they are gonna be there by the end of today or possibly tomorrow. Maybe that would be a good time to stop. But anyway, we'll continue on today. It's clearly been a pretty successful time.
Odds blood, it is not good that we should let the fruits of our labours, quite literally, rot. It is a waste of good energy.
I quite agree with you, Sigmund, but what are we supposed to do? We just don't have the wherewithal to keep it all cool.
How is the alcohol fermenting process going?
Well enough, I suppose.
Then I must return to at least one area. We need more books so that we can get decent clothing.
Indeed. Actually, I am almost your equal. You think I could help you with gardening and, let you do some research?
You know, I think that might not be a bad idea.
All right, Andrew. Go ahead and handle the plans. I would be most grateful. I think we all would be, sir. I, for one, would be. Boy, I can barely stand up. When's bedtime?
What were you doing last night?
Oh, you know, the old, double, toil and trouble, and all that. Ha ha. Fire burn and cauldron bubble.
It hasn't been invented yet. Oh, what you mean? Hasn't been invented yet.
Now, Sigmund, we're not supposed to break the third wall, although it is true.
Sorry, sir. Didn't mean to break the third wall.
Well, don't do it again, then. Please. Especially not since more research is available.
Not very useful ones. I need to do a little more research before we will be able to tailor our own clothes. Whatever. I'm gonna go to sleep, God. I'll see you in the morning.
And with that, I think it's time to bring this session to a close. So we've accomplished a lot. We built a new bedroom. We have not quite finished our Great Hall here. We're going to need a great deal more wood in order to do that, but, No, it's been a good time. Our guys are getting along a little better than they were before. They're putting their religious differences aside, but we still need alcohol, and that's not going to be available until the end of the next season. Because as you can see here, or maybe you can't because the resolution of my video is pretty pitiful, in 5 days we're going to have sweet, sweet alcohol for our guys to drink. I think it's going to be a rough wine, and from there it might ferment into a better one. But, hey, you take what you can get. So thank you all for joining the boys. I hope I remember the voices next time, because, you know, I'm quite enjoying it. I like exercising my voice acting skills. It's great fun for me. And if you have any input, maybe I should choose a different voice, make myself sound less like Warrior and like the Explorer from Age of Empires 3 and like one of the voices from the Guild 2, or like a rat from Redwall, and maybe choose a different voice to imitate, perhaps. I don't know. And I'm sure you don't care. I'm sure you don't because I hardly do. And because you don't exist. Because if you did, you would be watching my video, which I highly recommend getting it on. But, for the moment, unlocking tailoring is going to be my next landmark. We have made it to another day. We can put down a tailoring bench, well, a sewing station, as it is actually called. My bad. We'll put that down there. We will put down a couple of more shelves, because although we're not going to store all of our textiles downstairs, we're going to store at least a couple there. And lots more construction to be had, but I think we'll save some of that for next time. It's been a good night. We've gotten some of our differences put aside so that we can focus on our more human qualities. We'll probably have theological debates some other time. I don't think the time is now. But it's been a great deal of fun. And if you couldn't tell, I'm right knackered. I'm sure some of you might be. We'll pick up from Market Arjour right here with our friends Andrew and Dio and Sigmund. Perhaps not with those voices. I might get new ones next week. Either because I'm not pleased with the ones I have, or because I simply forget. But thank you for joining me tonight. I wish you all a lovely evening. God bless. Happy Corpus Christi, or the Body and Blood of Christ, this coming Sunday. Happy belated Trinity Sunday. And if you like baseball, I hope you're enjoying the College World Series, if that is indeed your jam. Peace to y'all. Love you much.